You can now see Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book, a collection of wishes allegedly from prominent CEOs, businessmen, and presidents, compiled for the child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday back in 2003. It was compiled by convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, I should add that. Well, what you're looking at now is what appears to be President Trump's name. The White House says what you're looking at is fake. It says the signatures don't match, pointing to the official documents that you see there on the left. You can also see how Trump signed letters back then, back in the 90s, one to Rudy Giuliani, one to Larry King, when he signed with just his first name. This is a pretty major development, and it came from the House Oversight Committee's Epstein probe, the result of a subpoena of Epstein's estate. It was publicly released by the committee's Democrats. My panel is back. Leanne, what's your sense of, I mean, again, the Rorschach test is probably the best way to continue to describe it.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, when you walk the halls of Congress, are Republicans like,
So I think it's a little too early to tell, because Donald Trump and his team have been quite effective at shutting down most of the dissent from Republicans. You see it in the Thomas Massie Ro Khanna discharge petition, which is stuck at just 4 Republican signatories. They need 6. There are a lot more Republicans who are expressing a lot more concern before they left for August break. You even see the right-wing MAGAsphere online have really tamped down on their criticism and focus on this as well. And so, as much as Republicans, might be concerned about this publicly, they are mostly standing with the president, and Speaker Mike Johnson has a valiant effort before him to continue to keep Republicans in line, and he is trying so mightily.
Yeah, in various sort of eyebrow-raising ways. So I mentioned behind the scenes because we know what Republicans are saying to the cameras. Let's just listen to some examples.
Clearly, the birthday note from President Trump is a fallacy. It's just not true. And that's a leftist talking point. It's horrible.
I wanted to get your reaction to the release of the Epstein estate documents.
I haven't looked at them. Yeah.
Are you concerned about President Donald Trump?
The president says he did not sign it, so I take the president at his word. I don't think the Oversight Committee is going to invest in looking up something 22 years ago. We're going to look.
So you're just going to take the president at his word that this is not it.
What does it have to do with anything?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpack here. Number one, the question is, why is President Trump wanting to distance himself from a relationship that everyone knows he had? And at the time, this was before Epstein's alleged crimes became kind of fully known, fully exposed. And so he could easily say, yeah, I helped him celebrate his 50th birthday. But that's not what's coming from the president. And therefore, so many Republicans who want to remain in his good graces, want to remain aligned with him, are kind of playing dodgeball a little bit, because at one point it was a fake. Now that the actual document has been released, they're trying to contort themselves from still saying it's a fake, or now saying it doesn't matter. When, again, if it doesn't matter, then why can't you verify whether it's accurate, whether it's real or not?
Well, I think the answer to your question about kind of the so what is, if you look at that letter, it's not just a letter. I mean, it's very suggestive. Yeah.
The contents of the letter are what the White House is actually worried about here. They actually like what's written in it. Never mind the lewd drawing.
Yeah.
But I mean the suggestion of a secrecy. We have a secret, et cetera. But what the president and his team was doing yesterday, obviously, is just sending a message to his supporters, his base, the right-wing newscasters and others, saying there's nothing to see here. But my question is, the president decided to file suit against News Corp, the owner of the Wall Street Journal here. What becomes of that? If the president suddenly retracts his lawsuit, that'll be interesting. If not, and it moves forward, what does discovery look like in a case like this? So the Journal just published the words of the letter. The drawing was made public yesterday. I assume that Rupert Murdoch and his lawyers had quite a smile on their face when they saw it in the flesh yesterday.
So this was, as I mentioned, released not by the Republicans who are in charge of the committee and vow to get all the information out publicly, but by the Democrats who don't hold the gavel. Listen to James Comer, you saw a little clip of him there, who is the chair of the Oversight Committee, talking about the fact that he's not happy with the new ranking Democrat, Congressman Garcia, and then Garcia's response.
Garcia, he's been on the job for about 2 weeks. He's proven to me to just be a real big drama queen, because this is all about providing transparency to the American people and justice for the victims. It's not about scoring political points. So hopefully he'll mature up.
The truth is that James Comer and the Oversight Republicans have no idea how to deal with an aggressive, next-generation, forceful oversight committee that is going to work every single day to get the truth.
Stephen?
Well, you know, there are big questions all along about whether this oversight committee was anything really that is intended to get at the truth. So put that aside. The issue here is that every time there's going to be a disclosure, the Democrats see it as in their interest to embarrass the president. We're going to have a huge media furore. But the political exposure for the president is on the right. If you looked at conservative media today, the big stories were the terrible murder in North Carolina,
right,
the crime crackdown, Trump going into potentially Democratic cities. That does seem to indicate, to your point, that the real anger and energy on this in some of the MAGA base is perhaps diminishing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the most prominent conservative cable network has not been doing much of this at all recently. At the beginning they did, but not recently. Let's look at some of the voters that could matter if they go and vote in the midterms. These are Biden-Trump voters. So Biden in 2020, Trump in 2024, and this is from, I should say, the Focus Group podcast.
You can't say things about the Epstein files to get people to vote for you and then not do anything with them, which at the end of the day, who cares? The Epstein files don't affect my paycheck or my groceries, but there's too much wishy-washy.
The other thing that was a big thing for me that this made me regret me voting for him was the disappearance of the Epstein client list. That was like one of the things that he ran on, and that was like the thing that sold me on voting for him in a lot of ways.
It just made me so disappointed, hugely disappointed. It's the biggest disappointment that I've had with him so far.
Yeah, so there's a couple things here. Most Republican operatives that I talk to insist that this is not going to be a driving issue in the 2026 midterm election. This is not going to make people win or lose their elections. But it could have an impact on base turnout around the margins. Democrats aren't also going to focus on this in the midterms. They are going to do cost of living issues and focus on pocketbook sort of issues. But what it does do is it continues to be in the atmosphere about the perception that people have about Donald Trump and the Republican Party generally.
Yeah. I've been talking with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's split with Donald Trump on this Epstein issue, even though they remain very aligned, and she says they remain close. And she told me that she believes it's affecting Republican enthusiasm. Again, we don't expect Donald Trump to have to be on the ballot again to deal with it, but there are other Republicans who may have to deal with the long-term repercussions of what many Republicans, like the focus group participants said, the wishy-washiness of this whole Epstein saga.